If you or someone you know has diabetes, you may have built up an extra supply of test strips and lancets. That's where we come in. We'll buy the supplies that you don't need and resell them to those in need to prevent waste. Help us make diabetes management more affordable. Visit us at teststripswithaz.com.
All right, joining me right now, picked up a huge win on Saturday in Sacramento. He finished Pingyuan Liu in the third round with a ferocious knee and earned a nice little performance bonus to boot. The Dragon, Jonathan Martinez, joins us right now. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, sir, and you?
I'm doing great. As a matter of fact, I was just texting back and forth with Mr. Matt Schnell, because I'm going to be talking to him a little bit later, and he wanted me to send his congratulations your way.
Oh, thank you.
And then I'm going to send you congratulations as well. But that knockout has been in the highlight reels for several days now. It's been shared all over social media. How many times have you gone back and watched it?
Honestly, a lot. Like, my girl would be like, you don't get bored? And I'll be like this with the phone. But it looks fake to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I used to watch, like, UFC, watch all those videos, and I'm just, like, looking at him and not looking at myself doing it. So it's, like, it's pretty cool.
It's definitely like interesting when you're in the moment and something cool like that happens and you can kind of visualize it in your head as it's going on. But seeing the video, was it like you imagined, or did it look a little bit more superhero-ish when you saw it in the video?
Yeah, it kind of looked like, superhero. Yeah, it did. Just looked at it, I was like, oh, damn, like, looks pretty good.
You've had 3 fights in less than a year in the UFC. I think it was 9 months or so, as a matter of fact. And I remember talking to Mark Montoya about you earlier this year, and you know, he talked about your grit, how tough you proved to be in your debut with Andre Sukumta, and since then, you got 2 straight wins, your first finish in the UFC, your first performance bonus. How would you describe this last 9 or 10 months or so as a UFC fighter?
Man, pretty good. Like, you know, I feel good. Like, the first one, like, I was so nervous. Like I was in the back. I was telling my coach, 'cause I had a different coach. I was telling him, like, man, like, I don't want to go out there. Like, and he was telling me, like, man, like, it's the UFC. I kept telling him, will you go out there and fight him? You know, like, I was just, like, really nervous, you know. And then the second, when it was good, I felt a lot comfortable. I started training Factory X, so I felt a lot better going in there. And this one is just, like, I was, like, really calm. Like, walked in the cage. It was, like nothing. Like, I feel like it was just a sparring day, you know. And I felt really good.
Do you remember the last time you felt that way heading into a fight?
I think pretty much like all my other fights, like, because I don't really get nervous when I go in there. I just get more nervous like having interviews. Like,
oh, yes.
That's what I get more nervous. I just like, oh man, I'm having an interview. Like, but when I fight it, I don't really get nervous. I'm like, man, we're just fighting, you know, like anything could happen, you know, just like 15 minutes, you know what I mean? So.
Do you feel like you're more comfortable these days? Because I remember Mark telling me how quiet you are. You said there were times where he felt like he had to like order meals for you and you guys went out to eat. Like, and you've mentioned that yourself, like doing interviews has made you maybe even more nervous than actually getting in the fight. How much would you say you've grown in that aspect over the last year or so?
Pretty good, but they still order my food. You know, I still be like, even my girl too, I just be pointing at the menu and she's like, I just get real nervous. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'll say it wrong or something and they just laugh, so I just won't say it at all.
Is that something you continuously try to work on? Because obviously, you know, you're a little more in the public eye now. You're a UFC fighter. It's on ESPN. So obviously the interviews are going to be coming more and more frequently as the wins keep coming. Is that something that you're working on as well as trying to get better in the cage as well?
Yeah, I've been working at with Mark, where he's been making me talk a lot, and then he'll put me in the spot. Like, I just be like, man, like, he'll try to make me sing sometime, and I have to do it because they'll just stand there and like they'll wait for me to sing, and I'm like, man, I'm not gonna sing. Like, well, and then I just sing a little bit, and they're like, okay, there you go, because they'll call me like Pedro, and I'm like, okay.
What songs does he make you sing?
Oh, it's Spanish songs. It's like some love songs.
Oh man! So on Saturday, you fought a guy who had been on a 10-fight winning streak heading into that fight. He's a team alpha male guy, so you went in there essentially in enemy territory and picked up the biggest win of your career, and you did it emphatically. Does that add to the excitement for you, knowing that you halted such a long streak? You were the underdog heading in, and were sort of the away team fighting in Sacramento.
Yeah, it was good. I know he had a lot of wins, and I was just like, man, I didn't have like pressure, nothing like that. I just felt like, I have to go in and do my job. I train hard for this. I get beat up in the gym all the time, so and I feel really good. So I didn't feel like pressure, nothing like that, honestly.
So it was kind of like a cherry on top of the sundae. It just kind of added to it. I mean, it wasn't anything you were necessarily thinking about, but obviously in the aftermath of it all, it was a cool thing to have on top of it.
Yeah, it was good.
I will tell you, as someone who doesn't fight, I've never landed a knee or a strike like that in my entire life. So allow me to live vicariously through you for a moment. When you land that knee, like, what did that all feel like? Like, what went on in your mind? Like, did you know it was clean and that the end was near? Like, what was that like for you, landing that shot?
Man, like, it felt good because I kept seeing him, like, he threw the jab and he kept leaning down. So, I heard one of the coaches, like, look, he keeps leaning down. So, right, I faked I was going to throw the jab and I threw the knee. Right when I felt him, he touched it. It's just like, man, I seen him go back. Like, I seen like in slow motion. So I was just like, man, yeah, he's done. But I got real excited, so I threw like a hook, and then I jumped one more. But yeah, it was pretty good.
And you were able to hear Mark shout that instruction out, because a lot of people, or one of your coaches, because a lot of people, when they're in the cage, they kind of block everything out. They're just focused on what's in front of them, and they block out the crowd. They block out everything around them. But you were able to hear that instruction, the jab, knee, and everything pretty clearly?
Yeah, like I hear them when they talk to me and stuff. Like I hear it pretty good. Because in the beginning of the round, I think second round, he was telling me to do some stuff. And like I didn't listen. I should have listened, but I was just like, my leg was hurting, and I was just like, I didn't really trust myself, so I was just like, oh man, like, but I could hear everything they say, like I paid good attention what they say. But that knee, we were just working, we were pretty much working the whole time I was up there, just keep working it over and over and over again, because we were waiting for him like to shoot in, if we could throw it, but he was kind of waiting for me to counter. He wanted to counter back, so, and that's what pretty much happened, really.
After you have a knockout like that, obviously the performance bonus, things like that, they start to creep into your head a little bit, I would assume. Were you watching the rest of the card, just kind of making sure no one had as impressive as a knockout as you had?
Yeah, I was. I was just like, man, hopefully everybody goes by decision. I was just like, I kept just making jokes like, hopefully they give me submission of the night, knockout of the night. But yeah, it was kind of good, and they told me I got it, and I was all excited.
Were you starting to get nervous as Emmett got his knockout and then Faber got his knockout? Were you starting to get a little nervous that maybe this won't happen?
Yeah, I kept seeing them. I was like, man, like they're like a lot bigger than me, so they're up there. So I was just like, man, they're probably just gonna give it to them. And then my manager, hey, you got the bonus, and I was like, oh man, like I was excited.
After the fight, you had spoken to the media and the scrum, and you said you'd like to fight Rani Yahya next. Why did you choose to go in that direction? What about Rani Yahya makes you want to get in there with him next?
He's up there, and then he likes to brawl too. You know what I mean? So kind of like people that like, like fight like that. And I think it'll be an exciting fight. So, hopefully I get that fight.
In a perfect world, your manager calls you and says, "Hey, Jonathan, just got off the phone with the UFC. They're going to give you Rani Yahya, but it's up to you to decide when you would like to fight him." So, like, time frame wise, when would you like to get back in there? What event? And which one would you like to go with in terms of getting in the cage again?
Probably October. Probably be back in, but I don't know what card, honestly. Just whatever card, really. Just hopefully I get to fight him, honestly. That's pretty much.
What are you going to do with that bonus money? 50 G's, nice little bonus for you. Do you have any plans for that first UFC performance bonus?
Nah, not really. Just go drink now. I don't even drink. Yeah, I don't drink at all. Like, I never really drank, so.
Some singing lessons, something like that?
Probably not.
Jonathan Martinez, the Dragon, joining us. Picked up a highlight reel knockout of Pingyuan Liu at UFC Sacramento over the weekend. Jonathan, before we wrap up, man, let the folks know where to find you on the web, social media, shout-outs, anything else you want to get off your chest. The floor is yours.
On Instagram, Martinez3Jonathan, and on Snapchat, John MYDA. And then just pretty much shout out to Factory X. All these wins and pretty much the help they gave me. And then a shout out to in Lubbock, Texas, on Different Breed MMA, and coach Danny Perez there. Everybody in the team there. That's it.
Thank you, Jonathan. Great win. Congratulations. Hopefully you get the fight with Rani Yahya, and we'll talk soon.
All right, thank you.